Hi everyone, welcome to another video of our JavaScript learning series. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you one of the very important topic, which is string. In our previous videos, we have already learned about the variable declaration by using let keyword, by using var keyword and const keyword. Also, we have discussed about the data types, right? Data types also we have also discussed, and if you guys still not yet gone through those two videos, I'll strongly recommend go through those two videos because those are foundation of your next step, right? So one of the data type was there is string, right? One of the data type we have seen there is a from the this is nothing but a primitive type of data type, right? We have seen from the data type, so this is nothing but comes into your primitive data type. So this primitive data type string is a very important. String has an you can say very important role in your programming language, whatever programming that you are working. If you work on Java, if you work on Python, C Sharp, wherever you go, string is very you can say very in huge cases it is going to be used. So if you are working for JavaScript also, it is nowhere less than of that, right? So everywhere you will be dealing with the strings, whether you are an automation engineer or you are an you can say web developer, or anywhere you going to use the JavaScript, so string is your must go, right? So in this video we are going to see that all these ways what is string, and after that definitely we'll be discussing in the point of JavaScript only, right? Then also we'll be discussing with different ways to create a string, right? And also we'll see what is template literal, and also we'll see what is backticks in string in case of when we are talking about the JavaScript, right? Also we will see what is the string different type of string operation, right? So these are the different topics that we are going to discuss in today's video. So now let's discuss about what is string, or what do we understand by when we say a string in JavaScript, right? Here is the one of the definition and the some other characteristics of string in JavaScript. Okay, so the first definition you can see, string is nothing but a sequence of character. Okay, this is very important. This is, I think, if you know any of the programming language, so you know the definition is same everywhere, right? String is nothing but a sequence of a characters, right? And that character can be your letters, it can be your numbers, it can be your symbols, anything, right? If you are enclosing all these characters, numbers or symbols by using single quote, or by using double quote, or by using backticks, right? So all these things are going to be called as string in JavaScript. Okay, because in if you go for some other programming language, let's say I talk about the Python, then Python don't have this backtick, right? If you do not know what is backtick, backtick is nothing but the symbol that you can see above of your tab key. Okay, above of your tab key there is one another key which is having two symbols. One is backtick, this one is called as backtick, another one is this approx key, right? So that key, this one is the backtick key. Okay, so this is also used to you can say declare a string, to mark any text as a string, right? So the my string, it can contain some you can say sequence of character, like say a b c, and then I can have use spaces, and I can say x y z, right? So this is something we can say this is a string, because we are enclosing those things into a within a single quote. We can use double quote also. We can use double quote also. Let's say I'm saying Java, right? We can use backtick. Backtick is specially used when you for some special cases. I will come to that later, when to use the backticks, right? And here are some other you can say characteristics of string that you must know. One is string can be created by using single quote, double quote and backticks that I have told you. This backtick is nothing but which is we are going to create for when we are writing a string in the template literal way. Okay, and then after that one of the thing that we have earlier learned, that string is comes into primitive data type category, right? That is something we have already know. And after that, the another one is, this is important, that string is immutable. Means, what do you mean by immutable? Immutable means, here you can see, meaning once created they cannot be changed. Means, if you are creating, let's say I am saying a is equal to, I am saying JavaScript, right? I am saying Java. So if you created this string, you cannot modify this string. Okay, that is something we called as a immutable. Okay, that's why we call string is a immutable. Okay, something you cannot modify, something you cannot change, that is called as a immutable. Any operation that appears to modify a string will instead create a new string. So you must have seen that if you say Java A is equal to Java, and after the next line you say A is equal to A plus, let's say programming, right? On the next line I am saying A is equal to A plus programming. So if I print the output, what is the output we are going to get? We are going to get Java programming, right? So from here I can think of that I have modified the string, right? From here what I can think, I have modified the string, right? So here if I print the console output, if I print the console output and of this console dot log, and if I say A, then I'll be getting Java programming. So at the once I'll be thinking that we have modified that string, right? But instead what happened in the backend? In the backend, let's say initially you created a is equal to Java, right? Initially what you did, a is equal to Java. So what is happening in the memory? In the memory, this string Java is, let's say, is stored into a container, right? This is a container, and a is our variable, right? A is our variable which holding the address of this container, right? Which a is the variable which is holding the address of this particular variable. Let's say this this container is containing Java, right? On the next time when you are doing a concatenation operation, when you are trying to modify the value of a, what you are actually done with, you are creating another container, another object in the memory. So that is nothing but it is again in this memory, and we are actually creating another string which is containing the new data, that is Java programming, right? And now a is the relation of this link is now is not going to be exit. Now what is happening in the background, a this is now pointing to this particular object. So instead of modifying this original object, we are done with the creating a new object. Okay, this is something happened in the background, we are not able to see. That's why if we print the value of a, we are getting the output as a Java programming. So from the user perspective, we are able to see that we have modified the string, but it is not actually what happening in the background. I hope this concept is clear to you guys. Okay, let us go to the VS Code, and we'll be doing some programming over this and to see the hands-on, right? So this is the class I have already created for you. That is a string class. We are going to working with this, and I have added all the definitions over here so that once you visit the page in the GitHub, so this definition and the characteristics of string will be there with you also, right? So here let me first create a string uh, creation, right? Let's say example of string creation, right? So now here you can see, let's say I am taking a string, let's say let first name is equal to, let's say I'm saying Saddam, right? I'm taking my first name is equal to Saddam, and let's say I'm giving this is within a double quote. So this is a string. I can use with the single quote also. Let's say last name I'm saying is equal to Hussein, right? So this is another way to create a string. So you can understand this is the first way we are using the double quote, using double quotes, and the second one we are using single quote, right? Now let's see what is, we talked about that we can use the backtick also, right? This is the backtick, and how to create a string by using the backtick. Let's see. I'm going to create another variable called full name, and I am going to use the backticks over here. Backtick is nothing but this one way, okay? And now here I can utilize my the already created variables. I can directly use inside of the backticks, right? So if you are going to, if you want to use the already created variables inside of your um, string declaration or somewhere, so you have to use the backticks. With the single quote it is not going to work. If I see what I mean, let's say I am going to create another variable. I'll show you. Let's say I'm giving this is a 1, right? So instead of backtick I am going to use the single quote, right? So now this is not, this first name and last name is not going to be a variable. These are now nothing but a string. Let me print the data, then you will be able to understand, right? So if I say console.log and I'm printing full name, and then I'm going to print type of full name, right? And also let me print this full name, not full name, not f name. I'll just print the full name, okay? And also here I'll print the full name, and here let me print full name 1, and here I'll be printing full name 1, okay? So what I'm doing, I'm just printing this data, and we'll be able to see that this variables, this variable is got replaced by the value of that variable we have declared earlier, right? So let me run this code now. I'll go to terminal, and here I'll see node, and I have to call the file name. Let's say string.js. So here you can see for the first print I got the actual result, and it is showing me the data type is string type, and this is the result that we have done over here, right? But for the next case, if I try to use this way, these variables are not getting replaced by the original variable, because if you want to replace the inside of the single quote or inside of the backtick, if you want to use, you can use backtick, but within single quote or double quote you can replace the variables, okay? So let me update this output. So the output is actually going to be this one. This output should be Saddam Hussein, right? Okay, let us see some operations we perform in the string. Let us see string concatenation. Okay, so now we'll be talking about the string concatenation. What is concatenation? Concatenation is something you are performing the addition operation in within the strings. Mean addition in the sense you are going to join two different strings, right? You are appending one text to another text. So that is nothing but a concatenation in JavaScript. So in when you are working with the string operation, right? So let's say I have a variable called if1, if name1 and l name1. I want to join, I want to concatenate these two string, I want to append one after another. So we have to use the plus operator. This plus operator helping us to concatenate two strings, right? So the first name, if name1 is holding this text, or you can say string, and the l name1 is holding this text, right? If you want to, you can say append these two text within a single string, then we can use like this way, string the first text one plus second text one, and if for better visibility we are going to add a single space, right? So this is how you can append. This is a concatenation operation. If you run this, the output is very simple. You guys all know what is the output is going to be, right? Okay. Now let me just do one thing, console.log, and let me add more separator. Okay. Now what I want to show one more example of creating string. There are the these three things we have seen already. One is, this is something called as a string literal way. Okay. So if you want to use illiteral way, if you are coming from Java, then you must know that illiteral way of declaring a string. That is nothing but we use the string, you can say, constructor, right? So if I say let str is equal to, I can say new string, right? So this way also I can create a string. Let's say JavaScript learning, right? So this way also I can create a string, and if you print console.log, so you'll be getting that output. But this way of creating string is not a recommended way. Okay, this way of string creation is definitely not a way to a recommended way. This is not a recommended way. I'll say this is not recommended way. Okay, the output is going to be very simple. So let's say I'm running this code once again just to show you, and string. Okay, now you can see we got that output, but this is a type of object. Initial case, earlier case, those were nothing but a string, right? But this is, if you created your string with this, by using this constructor, this is going to be an object type variable. Clear? So this is going to be your reference type variable, or you can say non-primitive type of variable. Okay, so and this is non-primitive, right? Okay. Now let us see some of the properties, or you can say example of use cases of string, right? So you can say example of use cases of string. Let us say I have a text, I have a string called, she said JavaScript is very good programming language, right? In the console, I have to print this. So how can we print this, right? So if you try to store this, let's say in the console, or directly, let's say I'm trying to take a variable called list, let's say let a is equal to, I if you what let's say if a is equal to, I say within a single quote or double quote, if you are trying to take, you cannot take double quote inside of double quote, right? Because if we take this way, JavaScript will consider only this part starting from double quote, and when it is going to get end, it will consider that is the part of the string, and next of the part it will not be able to understand, right? So this is how JavaScript treat it, right? So what we can do, can we take it inside of a single quote? If we take the complete thing within single quote, you can see there is no issue, right? So you can understand, if you have some text to print in the console, or store in the in a variable. So if you are having some single quote or double quote inside of your variable, then what you have to do, you have to use the opposite way of creating the string, right? So if you, what I mean, if in your string you have a double quote to print, double quote to store in a string variable, so you have to use the single quote to enclose the complete text as a string. Okay. So and instead of your single quote, if you have a instead of double quote, if you have single quote into your desired text, then you have to use the double quote. I have, this is understandable. Let me show one more example. If I say, what do I mean? Let's say b is equal to, I'm saying I'm taking within the, now this time I'm taking with this double quote, right? So if I take within double quote, let's say hi, uh, hi, and then I'm saying I'm Saddam, right? So this way you can understand now that within double quote I have to print the single quote. I have to print single quote. Now I am enclosing my complete text within a double quote. If you try to enclose your complete text within single quote, then it is not possible, right? So it is not directly possible. See, we are JavaScript will only consider from starting to end of first occurrence of your single code, that it is going to consider as a JavaScript your string, right? Rest of the part is going to give me error. So this way, if you have a single, let's say double quote I have to use over here. If you have to print or store single quote, then you have to use a double quote. Clear? There is another way we can skip the characters, right? There is a skipping character also. We can say by using skip character. Okay, by using the skip characters. So how can we do see? So let's say I'm taking the same example. I'll say let c is equal to, I'm going to take this example. Okay, I'm going to take this example. Now this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the single quote itself. I'm going to use the single quote itself instead of the double quote, right? Now you can see here I'm getting an error. So how to scrape this? For scraping, I can use the backslash. Okay. So if we are using backslash, we are able to scrape the character, that the occurrence of the single quote is going to be scraped, and JavaScript will be considering ignore this single quote, and it will go for the next single quote. Clear? So this is how we can, you can say, we can organize or you can utilize the different cases whenever you are working with the programming. So this kind of things may happen to you. So if I print, you see we're going to get, there is no out problem, right? And we can print this also. Now let me take this one, and I'm going to print it here. Let me run the code. Okay, now you can see we are getting those quotation also get printed. Here also you can see that quotation also got printed, right? So this is how you can deal with the single quote or double quote if you have in your program. So if you have double quote, you cannot enclose the complete text within a double quote. You have to use either single quote, or you can use the escaping character. That backslash is nothing but a escaping character in JavaScript, right? In Java also it is same. If you are working with Java or you work with Java, so you must know that backslash is used to escape the character, right? Let's see some more example of string operation. Let me talk about uh, string comparison. Okay, so let me take one variable called string str1, and take, I'll this time I'll take let's say apple, and then on the next line I'll take another string str2. I'll take apple, small apple, right? So these two string I have right now. I want to compare between these two data, right? So what we can do, we can take these two one. So if I compare by for comparing between two string, we can use doubles equals or triple equals. Okay, so if I use the double equals or triple equals, then what is the output we are going to get? Let me run this code once again. See here, we are getting false, right? Why we are getting false? Because this two string, this is you know that JavaScript is case sensitive, right? So if the JavaScript is case sensitive, then you can understand the single a and double a, single a and capital A are different, right, in JavaScript. So that's why it is that equality, the content of these two variables str1 and str2 is not matching, right? So that's why it is giving me false. And the second one is definitely, you can understand, it will check, it is called as a strictly checking, you can say, operator. Okay, whether both are their value and at the same time their type of the variable, what is the data type of two variable are same or not, that is also going to be checked, right? What do I mean? Let's say I want to check another, I'm giving you one example. Let's say string a1 is equal to, I'm taking 10. Okay, and I'm taking another variable called string b1 is equal to 10, right? So there are two, this one I'm going to take as a string, right? This one, so this b1 is a string, but a1 is a number. Now if I want to compare between these two, this equal operation will give me equal to operation will give me a true result, because the value of these two are exactly same. This is containing 10, this is also containing 10, although it is a numerical number, numeric data, or you can say numeric value, but this is containing string type of value, right? String type of value. Now if you are using equal to operator, then you are going to get a true operation, okay? But if you are using triple equal to operator, then you will be getting false from this result, because triple equal to will give you true only and only the type and the value both are matching, but here with the type is not matching. First one is your numeric and the second one is your string type of variable, right? So that's why the equal to triple equal to operation is giving us false result, right? So let me show you here in the run screen. So you can see we are getting the last result as false and the second last one is true, right? This is understandable, I hope. So let me add a separator. Now let's see some of the more example of use cases of string, right? Some of the more operation, or you can see um, string methods, right? String operations, right? We're going to discuss one by one. Let's see. I'm taking a variable. Um, str. Let's say str3 is equal to. I'm taking a variable called JavaScript. JavaScript is very good programming language, right? So this is the text I have there in str3 variable. Now let us see what all operation we do perform at the time of working with strings in JavaScript, right, or any other programming language. So similarly, let's say for other program we have console dot. Let's say we want to check the what is the length of the string, right? So there is a function called length. We can use this and it will return me what is the length of the string. Let's say from here to here how many number of characters are there, it is going to return me. So if I run this code now here, so you can see the output. So if I run it, you can see we are getting 47, right? So let me change it to 47, right? So this is an operation, so which is length is an op you can say attribute from string class. So that is going to return me what is the length of your string, right? So okay, if you calculate the length, calculate the number of characters we have in the string, so you will get a count as 47. Here you can see in this, if you can see 47 selected, right? So that's why the length of the string also we can see here in the print is 47, right? Let me modify this. We can say length, right? And this way you can print it. So okay, yeah, so length is 47, right? Now let us see some other example what we can see over here. Let me show you. Let's say I'm saying console and then dot log. One of the very good example, all know that we have uppercase and lowercase, right? So we can directly convert str3 to lowercase and uppercase, right? Similarly, let me show you the uppercase and okay. Let me first show you the uppercase and lowercase, then we'll come to slicing part. Okay. So if I run this code now over here, so you can see it is the first one is all your characters are converted to uppercase, and the second one case it is converting all your characters to lowercase, right? Let me add a separator over there before we go to the next one. Okay, now let me see this thing. Here we are using the slicing. What it does, it is going to give you a subtext. Okay, let's say I want to from starting from any index, so any text, any text, the index is always start from 0, right? I know. So the 0 to from any of these text, I want to slice it. I want to get a partial text from this complete text, right? So for that we have a slice method in string. So you have to pass the from which index you want to start slicing and up to what index, right? So if you pass 10, so it will be 10 minus 1 always. Okay, so let me change it so that you will be able to understand. Let's say I'm saying 4, so it should give to up to 4 index. 4 index will not be included. Let me show you. Okay, let me run this code now. Clear screen and see here, it is just printed java 4, right? The last index, you can understand, j is 0 1 2 and 3. So the last index you are passing over here, that is not going to be used. Clear? So the last index always, it will what it will print, it will print the last index minus 1. If you pass 10, so it will definitely go to 0 to 9. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 10 is not going to be considered. Clear? Okay. Now let us see some other examples of using the indexes, or you can see slicing, right? Okay. Now you can, instead of passing 0, if you pass 5, that means it will start from index 5, right? So index 5, it will start from 0 1 2 3 4 5. It will start from C, right? Let me show you the output. Here you can see it is started from C, right? After that it will go to 9 index, right? And here is the ending index. If you pass a minus 4, so it will come from last, it will start 1 2 3 and 4. So from till here, from GU, it will give you the return. Clear? So this is how, from where you want to stop the end index, right? So if you pass with a minus number, minus of any number, digit number, so it will be doing the last index minus that index, that number, right? If you pass positive number, so that is going to be how long you want to go from starting from a index, how many characters you want to go. That is your positive index, positive number indicate. If you are using negative number, then it is going to be last index minus that number. I hope this is clear to you guys. Now let me add one more, you can see separator, and then this time we'll see the index of operator. Okay, then we'll see console, and I say dot log of, let's say str3 dot index of operator. If you see the index of operator, it will ask me, if you go to the definition of index of operator, here you can see it is looking for, searching for which string, right? So this, the first parameter, or you can say the first argument, it is looking for which string you want to look for, right? So we can pass, let's say in JavaScript, this is my text. Here I, what you are looking for, let's say I'm looking for where is very is present, right? So it will provide me the starting index of v, right? Where the very is come into my complete text, it will start the index of v. So if I say, if I pass vd, so it will be returning, it is going to return me where v is present, right? So index is going to be, if I start count from here to here, it is going to your you can say, I think 16 is there, right? So might be the, it is, I think the output is going to be 16. Let me show you. So if I run this code, you can see we are getting output as 16, right? So the output is going to be 16, right? Now instead of, let's say I want to check for any special character, or I want to check for any you can say words or any text, any text which is present in that text, complete text multiple times, right? So let me, what I mean, I means console dot log, and here I want to check, let's say str3 dot index of, A, index of, and to check for the character A, right? Now you tell me what is the output is going to be, right? Because A is present multiple time. If you look for this particular text, there A I have multiple time, right? At the position 1, at the position third position, and there are a lot of other position where A is present, right? Then what is the output is going to be? In such case, always remember it will only return me the first occurrence of the character or the text you are looking for. Okay, so in the first occurrence where it is getting, it will get in the index number 1, right? So if I run my code now, if you see here, see here it is giving me the return as 1. So that means at the first index, 1 index, it is getting the character 1. Now there is a situation I do not want to consider A from the 0 to, from this first text, right? From this index I do not want to get. Okay, I want to see where A is present after this, from this length from here to here, right? From starting from index, let's say this is length of 10. So from after 10th index I want to see where A is present. So if I have a specific requirement after this particular index, I want to search for particular character or a particular text, then what I can do? I can pass another attribute over here, another argument over here, which index you want to, you can see the second argument it is asking for the position, and this is an optional, you can say, argument, right? So this positional argument I can pass the number. So let's say I'm passing 10. If I pass 10, then what will happen? It will ignore the first 10 character. After 10, it will be looking for the character A, where it is, then when it is getting the A, the first occurrence of A, after position number 10, it will return me the position. Okay, let me show you the example, and I'm just running this code. Now you can see now position of A, we are getting as 14 instead of 1. We are now getting 14. I hope this is clear to you guys. But let's say my requirement is I do not want to check from the starting of the index, starting of the text, right? What is my requirement? I want to check from the last, you can see, from the last index of the text. So where this particular text is present. So for that I have a one method called, let me copy this one. Let's say I want to check for A which is present from the last end of this string, right? So for that I have a method called last index of. Okay, so what it will do, it will look for, it will search for that character or the text that you are going to pass inside of double quote from the end index of the text. Okay, so it will get at the position number, this one is going to be your character target, right? So it will return you the index of this character. Let me run this code now once again. See here we are getting the position as 3, right? So why we are getting position 3? It is from the last position. It is at position number 3. Okay. Okay. I have this concept is clear now. Sorry, I did some mistake. I think I have to remove this one. Okay. Okay. Now let me show you once again. If I run this code once again, so it should not be okay. Now we got the correct output. So 43, right? So this one is at 43 index. If you see, I think, yeah, the length is, you can see, 44. So that means the index of the A is 43. So this is the correct output. Yeah, let us see couple of more methods that we have in string operation. Okay, and after that we will conclude this session. Then we'll say log dot, and we can use, let's say I want trying to split the text, right? Let's see, this is my complete text. I want to split it by using the spaces, right? All the character, all the words, I want to keep it separate. So for that I have a called method called split. So I can say string 3 dot split, right? By using this dot split, what is the way you want to split, by how you are going to split, right? You have to pass that split character. So you have to pass any regex expression, or you have to pass what is the way you want to split, right? So let's say I want to split it by using a spaces. Okay, all the spaces we are going to split it out. So if I say blank space out, and if I want to see the output, let me run this code now once again. You can see it is splitted all the words from the particular text, and it is actually returning me in the array format. Can you see that? If you let me do one thing. Let me store it into one variable. Okay, so I'll say let um str4, let's say a is equal to, I'm saying splitting, right? Now I'm printing a, I'm going to print a comma type of a, right? So now let me show you the output. See here, the output is giving me as array object, right? Array is nothing but a object in JavaScript. So it is giving me in array format, and the type of the array is nothing but a object, right? Okay, I can take that output here. So let me write it there. Okay. Now let's see one more example. Okay, console.log, we have taken split, and also one more thing of use cases of split I will show you. So let's see, I'm taking a instead of a 1, and let's see, I'm giving, and there is one more, I can say limit, right? How many number of split you want to have. You can see here a value used to limit the number of elements returned in the array. So how many number of elements you want to have in the array, so that is something you can pass over here. Let me show you how it is, or how it is look like, right? Let me remove this type of a, I'm not going to print this one. Let's say I am saying only 2. Okay, so only 2, I'm saying split, and I'm passing the limit as 2. Then what is the output is going to be, right? Let me run this code. Now you can see it is splitted into uh, object, and this a, sorry, we are printing different one. Okay, now let me print this one. Okay, now you can see the aa1 print, we got only one print, one, you can see this is the one object, right? We are not getting the all this output, because how many number of print we have items we have asked for, we have asked for 2 items, right? In this, from the split, we asked for 2 items only. You can see here in that array, or in that object, we are having 2 items only. If you increase the number of items over here, so you will be getting accordingly. Let's say I'm saying 5 items, right? Now let me run this code once again. See here, now in this array, now I have having the 5 items. So this is how you can utilize your array when you are going to for split operation, right? Okay, now let's move forward. I'll be taking this one, let's say this one. After that, let me show you some other example. Yeah, replace operation, right? So what we'll do, we'll do directly use console dot and dot log, and we'll be using str3 dot, you see replace operation is there. Now I want to replace some text with a specific text. Right now the string, we have this one string. Let's say this is the string where you want to change a particular text, particular, you can see words with some other words, right? So instead of, let's say, JavaScript is a very good programming language, we can say JavaScript is programming language. Instead of that, we can say Java. Instead of JavaScript, I want to place Java, right? So what we can do, we can take that JavaScript, and you can pass in the second argument, you have to pass by what you want to replace. So let's say I'm saying TypeScript, right? Type SCRI TypeScript, right? Instead of JavaScript, I want to say TypeScript, right? So I want to replace the JavaScript with the TypeScript, and I want to see the output, right? Let me do one thing. Let me run this and see. Here you can see now we are getting output as a TypeScript is a very good program language. Can you see that? Okay. Now there is a two thing. Let's see, when you say I want to replace this particular text with TypeScript, when is the first occurrence of the text JavaScript occur into your text, what it will do, it will just replace that particular text. And if let's say in that string you have multiple occurrence of this text that you are replacing, that is available in multiple time, so it will just replace the first occurrence. Let me show you one more example so it will be very clear to you guys. So if I see .log, and if I say str3 dot say replace single a with a, I want to replace single a with a capital A. Okay, that's what I want to perform. So you can understand from my string I have a lot of a, right? There are multiple occurrence of a, but if I say single a with, if I want to replace single a with a capital A, then see the output. What is the output is going to be? If I run this code, now here you can see it is just only the first occurrence of single a is replaced. The next occurrence are not affected, right? So what replace method does, it will just replace the first occurrence of the character of or the words sequence of character that you are looking for. But if my requirement is I have to replace all the occurrence, right? All the occurrence, then what I have to do, I have to use, there is another method called replace all, right? I have to use that. If I use replace instead of replace, you can say replace all, then it will perform that operation. It will replace whatever the uh, number of times your small a is occurred, it will replace with the capital A. Let me run this code and I'll give a separator at the end and I'll run this code. Now see the output. Here all the occurrence of small character a is replaced by your capital character, isn't it? So all the occurrence, wherever your small character a was there, it was replaced by now the capital A, right? Now let us see some quick example or another use cases. Let's see, I want to print see my text dot log, and there is a something called character at, right? So what it is going to return me, this character at is going to return me what is the character is present in this particular position, right? So if it will start from 0 1 2 3 4, the fifth position or you can say fifth index, what is the character is present, it is going to return me that thing. So if I run this code now quickly, you can see it is going to return me C, the fifth index which is containing C. You can see here this one, C is at fifth index. Similarly, I want to you can say ignore first 10 character. After that, I want to check, right? So for that case also we have similar thing to do. So let's say console dot log, and if we see str3 dot character at index, right? So here you can see string.length.-1 from the last position. Zero base index of the desired character returns the characters at the specified index, right? So if I pass this -1 approach, so what it will do, it will check from the last index of your string, right? So if we see right now, if I run this code now, you can see it is giving me dot, right? So from last index string dot okay, character at position, okay. So if from the last index, so last index is nothing but my dot, so that's why it is giving me dot of output. If I give -2, then it should give me E, right? If I run this code once again, you can see if it is returning me E, right? So this way you can go either forward approach or you can go either backward approach, right? Okay, now let me show you another couple of example, then we'll end this video of string operation. String operation is very big, guys. So uh, if you working with any code, then you, until unless you are having a lot of experience, you will be uh, you won't be able to face all the challenges, right? So let me show you another thing what we want to see over here, that we can check whether a text is present in our string, right? For that we can use starts with or ends with, or you can say contains, right? Those things. So you can say str3 dot, you can say starts with, there is a method and called JavaScript. If it is starting with this particular text, then it will return me true. If it is not start with, then it will return me false, right? You can understand that thing. Similar way, we have a ends with, you can see the ends with it is, and also we have another operator called includes. What it check that this particular text is present into your string or not. That is something it check. Okay? So there are three you can see operator we have in JavaScript to check whether text is present into your particular sequence of character is present into your string or not, right? So let me run this code now once again. You will see the output. See that the language sorry, ends with, starts with JavaScript, it is true, so that's why we got true. Also language is you can see this one is, you can see we are getting true, that is also true. And good is there, so it is printing me true. And the next one is good, capital G, because JavaScript is, you can say uh, you can see it is a case sensitive, so that's why capital G is not matching, so it is giving me false. This is understandable, right? Okay. Now let me show you one example. Let's say I am taking a variable called let's say p is equal to, I am taking one small variable, let's say JavaScript. Okay. I'm taking a small variable over here right now, small data, right? Now what I want to see, let's say I'm having some spaces here, leading and trailing, right? To remove the leading and trailing spaces in JavaScript, we have called trim method is there, right? If I directly print dot log, and you see if I print, let me first directly print the p, and after that we will show you with the trim method, right? And then we can use p dot trim, right? So if I use the p dot trim method, then it will actually remove all the blank spaces, right? Leading and trailing. That we know everyone, right? So here you can see that initially it was printed with the leading and trailing spaces, but the next line it is not printing any of the leading or trailing spaces, right? So here you can see console.output, and something we call as print at start trim and end trim, right? So print start trim means it will trim from the starting position, and trim end in the sense it is leading you can say uh, spaces it will remove, right? Then there is another one very good example, that is a repeat. What this repeat it does, repeat is nothing but which is going to repeat the number of you can say uh, number of times you want to repeat your string, right? Let's say I want to repeat my string str3, or let me repeat only p, right? I'll repeat it by using the trim operation, right? Repeat it by using trim operation. So it will, what it will do, it will repeat that particular text into 3 times, right? So the number of times you will be passing over here, it will repeat that by that time, right? So let me run this code now once again. And if you see here, see for this third example, it is actually returning it is streaming the data from the initial, right? You can see the initial spaces is removed, but the at the end the spaces are still there, right? So but for the next one, you can see here the initial spaces are there, but the leading spaces are removed, right? So this is what is stream and is doing. Okay. If you are not able to understand why if the leading spaces are removed or not, what you can do, we can perform some you can see concat operation, right? If you see JavaScript, let's see programming, gramming, okay, JavaScript programming. So it will be giving me better result of understanding. So let me run it. See here now, you see there is no leading spaces was there in the JavaScript, right? So this is how we can uh, confirm, right? But if I do the same on the above one, so you'll be able to clarify it, right? So now let me run this code once again. Okay, now here you can see the above one we are having the spaces, but the for the next print we do not have the leading spaces, right? We only having the, sorry, we have the leading spaces, but we don't have any trailing spaces, right? So this is how you can understand the all these methods. And here you can see on the next line print, the number of times we have passed, 3 times, so it repeated the string 3 times. If I pass a different time, let's say 5 times or more, so it will just simply repeat that string. Let me clear this screen and run it. So here you can see it is repeated that string for 5 times, right? So with this we are done of today's session, guys. So about the string we have talked a lot. We have defined string, how to use the strings, what are the different ways of creating a string, and what all are the operations we can perform by using the string classes, right? Also we have seen different methods of string, and also we have seen that we can create a string by using the string classes. You can see that this one, by using the string object, right? So but this is a not a recommended way, so do not create, try to avoid this kind of string declaration until unless it is very required for you guys. And also what we have learned in this session, that we have used the uppercase and lowercase, or right, or trimming uppercase, lowercase, or trim operation, but that doesn't impacted our string, existing string, right? So let me show you where we have used this here. So you must have observed that we did a uppercase or lowercase of the string, but it just only returned the data, but it did not modify the existing string, right? If I go to here, you must have observed that we did once uppercase and lowercase of the string, but our original text is remain unchanged, right? Here we did a uppercase and here we did a lowercase, but my original text is remain unchanged. So what we can understand from these two operations, that if you are doing performing uppercase or lowercase, it is not modifying your existing text, right? Unless but what it is doing, actually it is actually returning you the uppercase or lowercase data, but it is not modifying your existing string. I hope you got it. Now this is how you can see one another things we have must observe, that when we are performing the trim operation, it is also not modifying your existing text. Okay, it is just what it is doing, it is just returning you the modified text, because once we have done this string trim operation, after that also that text was having the, you can see, spaces, leading and trailing spaces, right? So it is not modifying existing state, existing text, existing strings. Instead it is just, you can see, the returning the data that we are working with, right? Okay, now guys, with this we are done with this string session. I hope you have learned something, and if you learned something, if you got to know something new from this video, I'll be very happy with that. And thanks for watching, guys. This video I think very become very lengthy, but yeah, we are able to provide almost all the type of use cases that we have to do in our regular time. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay learning, stay happy. Thank you and bye bye.